listening to the Ataaso Outdoors Podcast.
Voodoo.
Yikes.
You muted me?
No, you weren't muted. I thought I unmuted you, but...
I was muted.
Well, yeah, because I thought I unmuted you, but I clearly didn't. Sorry for those technical difficulties.
I literally only do this podcast for one reason, and you just stole it from me.
From the intro. I stole his joy. Guys, welcome back to the Ataaso Outdoors Podcast. I'm Caleb. I'm your host, and this evening I am morning or whenever this launches. I'm joined by
recording in the evening.
Yeah, we're recording in the evening, but they usually drop in the morning. So whenever you listen to it, whether you're a early riser or a night owl. I'm Caleb. I'm your host. I'm joined by Reed Robinson, our co-host.
Howdy.
Hunter Grishke is probably elbow deep in a doe right now.
Hopefully. Yeah. I didn't get any... Well, I guess you don't really send doe pictures all that often, but, like, no updates, nothing. Like, just a quick little, hey, I'm probably not going to make it out there today. Got a doe down.
I feel like that should be something that we should start doing. We should make posing does great again.
Show off the ladies.
Let's see the ladies. Like, when you shoot a doe...
It's so hard, like, because people will post pictures of their does, and when they do it, they got their neck all kinked, and it's like back. And the people are just terrible at taking pictures.
So does that mean we need to create a product? Like, I know outfitters have like specific things. Like, we know that you can pose a deer, hang them in the cooler overnight, and then they sit up themselves. Can we create a product to pose a buck or a doe?
Like a dozer poser?
A dozer poser, or for either a buck or a doe, though. It's like something that like discreetly goes on the back side of the neck to like prop the head up, because that's the hardest part. It's like it's a grip and grin, but it's more like a grin and grimace.
It kind of is, especially when you shoot the big bucks. But you can't do it with a doe. There's nothing to grab onto.
Right, so that's
you got that chubby little neck.
So that's what I'm saying. Can we create a discreet thing that helps prop both bucks and does up, so we can make doe grip and grins great again?
It's actually not a bad idea. Like a spike piece of rebar that you jam up through the back of her neck.
I think it's something a little bit, more humane.
We're taking pictures of dead animals. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, but that's how you get. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, PETA's already pissed off. It's not like we already jammed a long pokey thing through it. Like,
oh, geez. Okay, so if you're tuning into the show for the first time, we've got 3 segments. Segment number 1 is What You Got, Buddy? That is the segment where we all bring pre-prepared articles or topics that nobody else knows about, and we discuss them at length. Segment number 2.
Segment number 2 is our Spotlight series, where we pull on our network of people within the outdoors and hunting world. We bring them in, we have conversations, get to know who they are, what makes them interesting, and we bring you guys along for the ride. Segment number 3.
Segment number 3 is our Spotlight series. That's where we meet. Honestly, we've been meeting a lot of cool people lately, and we bring different personalities down here to the pod bunker, and we hear their story and what they enjoy and what they're passionate about. And it's not necessarily just archery, bow hunting related. We've had an array of guests. If you scroll down through our past 40-something episodes, there's plenty of guys in here that love hiking and fishing and whatnot. So it's a good time.
We also do something called Head to Head, which is a trivia show.
Wait, did you talk about the Spotlight series already?
Yeah. I was going to let you roll with it.
Man, we got to keep an order.
Is it in order every time?
What you got, buddy? Head to Head Spotlight series.
Dude, I didn't know that.
Man, you just mixed it up.
I screwed it up, dude.
So
pay attention.
If you didn't know, our Spotlight series is our favorite.
It's super fun.
So segment number 4 is Head to Head. It's where we bring some pre-prepared questions. It's like our trivia game show / thing where members, whoever may be in the bunker, go head-to-head in outdoor trivia, and we crown the victor of that head-to-head in the pod bunker, which Reed is 2-time.
We'll probably
champ.
amp that up quite a bit this winter.
Yeah.
We haven't done a head-to-head. It's between hunting season and the people we've had on. We haven't had a whole lot of time for head-to-heads.
If I'm being honest, it's difficult to find good questions.
That's true.
I spend a lot of time researching to get like 13 questions. So that's where you guys can really help us. If you know of some really good outdoor trivia, or you can think of something that would be beneficial, shoot it over to us on Instagram, or send us an email at ataaso@gmail.com. And we'll throw it into our next head-to-head episode. Well, you clicked on it today. You know what it is. Today is What You Got, buddy. It's going to be a quick one because there's only 2 of us in here today, depending on the topic. If we get fired up, Reed, what you got, buddy?
Last week we had Ethan Hammond on, and he was talking about 3 encounters that he had with mountain lions in Michigan. He's from the Bath area, which is just east of Lansing. And I have also out in that like Perry, Bath, Langsburg, Corunna, there's just always talk about mountain lions out there. And where I grew up and hunted, I've been out in the woods before and I found tracks of big cats, like undeniably cat track. No claws, no, just like big pad. And I have big hands. Like I'm like triple XL gloves. My hand fit inside this paw print.
Is what they say about big hands true?
No, not at all. But there are a population of cats out in that area that people just talk about all the time. Like growing up there, I've heard multiple people just say like, oh yeah, I saw a mountain lion, saw this, saw that. I have neighbors that have them on trail cam. And the thing is like the DNR will not say anything about them. Because once they acknowledge the fact that there's mountain lions in this area, especially if there is a breeding population of mountain lions in this area, they have to make a management plan around them, to what I understand. But that being said,
what's the purpose of doing a management plan if there's only a few confirmed animals? Like how do you, I don't know, how do you have to manage if there were, say for instance, in a 200-mile radius, if there were 3 confirmed cats, what's the purpose of needing a management plan?
I just think people knowing the fact that they're out there, all of a sudden there's a bunch of political things that come into play. Well, these big are we in danger because there's mountain lions running around? Are we going to have any issues with run-ins with livestock or our pets? There's never has been in our area that we can account for. But once you open up that can of worms, it's Pandora's box. Everybody starts freaking out about it, right?
So it's more of an inconvenience. They gotta create a new department,
right,
and hire 10 people.
Exactly. And when people hear about like, oh, well, there's mountain lions, like this apex predator that can stalk and hunt and kill you.
That is true.
People start getting really wigged out about it. It's not like, a bear wandered south.
Yeah.
Every once in a while you'll see that, but people are familiar with bears and they don't feel very threatened by them. Right?
People have seen too many social media and video and stuff of mountain lions out west just stalking people.
Dude, those videos are bone chilling.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, imagine like if you knew they were in the area, like walking out your driveway at night, even just like to bring the trash can in, you'd be looking over your shoulder. And I hate the idea of that because the amount of time I'm working on projects outside, or even just like, for instance, coming in from the tree stand after dark. Like, I'm perfectly chill. I'm just nonchalantly walking through. I'm more thinking about, hey, don't make any noises because I don't want to bump any deer out. But if I knew there were cats in the area, holy smokes.
Well,
up above you.
Right. So that's the thing, man. Like, ever since I found that track out there where I hunt, I've never been able to walk in and out of the woods the same way. Like, and I've never seen a cat in person. Never been out in the stand and watch one run by. Like, I've never been like, okay, yep, this is real. But just knowing and having like, supporting evidence of sightings and encounters with people in my area, I've always walked out in the woods and I'm like, there could be a cat just watching. And like, that's all it would probably ever be, is a cat either stalking or just watching. I would never know it was there. It probably has happened and I'd never know. There's this big brush pile like out in the area of like one of the areas of the woods that I hunt, and it's kind of like big logs, big old like root balls, kind of all tangled together, and like you can see over the years where animals have like tunneled and buried in through there, and like you can tell stuff's living in there. That's right where I found that track, and every time I walk past it, I'm like, dude, there could be a cat in there, just hanging out, denned up.
Do you think that cats that are out west prey on humans more because they're more desperate for food? Because there's a lot.
Well, you never really hear about attacks. It's super rare.
Yeah, you don't hear about attacks, but you see plenty of videos of like hikers walking and they've got cats just slowly walking behind them.
I mean, I've seen like maybe 3.
Yeah, that is true.
Like at that point, it's like 1 in a 10 million chance, or 1 in 100 million chance.
Yeah,
know?
so the cat attack thing, it's either you don't hear about them because the person disappears forever.
Correct. But the DNR would have to make a management plan around it, because I think it's just to save face and to say like, hey, yes, we acknowledge that they're in the area and we have it under control. Here's what we know. Here's all the information. Here's how many there are. And it would cost a ton of money to do that. Because first of all, you have to go find them, which is like everybody knows is already ridiculously hard. Well, maybe not everybody knows that, but like it is ridiculous. Like if a cat doesn't want to be found, it's not going to be found. You know, there's guys that go drive miles and hunt for days with dogs trying to get on cats. And if that cat doesn't want to be found, it's not going to get found. But after talking to Ethan last week, and he mentioned like 3 different scenarios where he saw, like, you know, pretty darn close, a cougar in like right in his presence while he was out in the woods. I'm like, okay, that got me spooked. Like that just kind of refreshed that whole topic. And we've talked about like big cats here in Michigan before, but
we call that post-traumatic stress disorder.
But realistically, it's like, it just got me thinking about it again. I'm like, oh yeah, the DNR doesn't acknowledge this. They're kind of low key about it. I understand why. I wouldn't want to be in their scenario either. They'll acknowledge that like every once in a while a mountain lion will wander over from South Dakota into the UP. And like that's what they'll say. Or North Dakota, maybe it is. Like the last confirmed sighting of a mountain lion in Michigan was in the Upper Peninsula in 2020. But other than that, like they don't show anything about that. They just keep it really, really low key. But in like mid Michigan, there are mountain lions that do wander around. I'm not sure how many. I'm not sure if they're breeding. I don't know what they're doing or like what they're killing, but like it's just a thing.
Are they mostly nocturnal?
I honestly don't know.
Because you see an awful lot of videos of them during the daylight hours, but why are people not seeing them during daylight hours?
So, well, I think it's because like they're so elusive in general. They just flat out don't want to be seen. So, but Ethan sent me this video the other day on Messenger, and I just want to play the audio for you so you can hear it. And you can tell me what you think. Like, you can tell me what you think it is, because the guy's post says, this was in May 25th, 2020. Says, I'm not sure if this is the right page to post this, but I just heard this in the marshland behind my house, and it sounded very large. I'm not sure what it was, but it sounded like it was splashing around trying to get out. Any ideas? And here's this guy's post.
I hear it over all the frogs.
I've never heard something like this come out of the woods.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do
my
not
gosh.
like that, because I mean, most animals that make a noise in that kind of realm, like Like, I've heard fox make noise before.
Higher pitched.
Yep, way
Yep.
higher pitched, like a wow.
Yep.
Coyotes,
Yep. Higher pitched.
higher pitched. Raccoons, super high pitched. Like, that had bass to it.
Yep. That
That's
was
weird.
deep. It was throaty. Now, like I've heard raccoons fighting, and that is an egregious sound.
Oh, yeah. We hear it out here every once in a while. It's just
Oh
like,
my gosh. Oh, it sounds like death, dude. We'll go out raccoon hunting, and we'll play predator calls with raccoons fighting, and it just sounds terrible while you're playing it. And you're like, no way is this going to do anything. And sure enough, within about 10 minutes of playing that sound, you'll see coons running across the field to go get in a scrap.
crazy.
They love it.
It was trash.
Trash pandas.
There's no explanation, I think, for what that sound could have been.
Other than it was in the same area as where people are seeing these mountain lions.
What about a farm animal?
I was sitting there running every animal I could possibly think of through my head.
Yeah, pig?
Pig was the one thing pig is a higher pitched squeal. When you get a pig that's really upset.
Yeah, pigs really don't scream that low.
So now I've heard mountain lions like screech before, like they'll cry out and like it's spooky.
Mm-hmm.
Make the hair stand up on the back of your head. But like I've never heard that noise come out of the woods before, and if I was in the woods and I heard that noise, I would almost certainly call somebody and say, like, you need to get out here. Like, if I was out in the woods at night, about to walk in, and I heard that, no.
What were the comments like on that?
That's a great question. We can read them.
Did he send you a post?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's hashtag cruise the comments here.
Oh, we're going to go. I don't like hearing that noise, dude. It's just not. I'm going to mute it. Now we're going to listen to it one more time. Spring peepers.
Ugh. No.
I hate that so much. 115 comments. Where are we at?
Is somebody out there just messing around with people with a megaphone?
So somebody said cougar, bobcat. I've heard that cougars are being spotted in this part of Michigan. Sounds scary.
Yeah, do we know what kind of bobcat?
Sounds like a black bear, somebody said.
Oh.
Somebody says, listen to the scary sounds a bobcat is about to make at 53 seconds. Post a video of a bob. Okay, let's go to that.
I was going to say, bobcats are pretty prevalent in Michigan.
Yep, and let's see. That could be a bobcat.
I freaking hope it's a bobcat.
That's a bobcat.
That's totally what it was.
Okay. Could be. I still like
Keep reading comments. I think the likeliness of it being a bobcat is way higher.
the possibility of a bobcat is high since they have been confirmed in the area for a long time. Could potentially be a cougar as well. However, even if it is one of these big kitties, they're more skittish than people realize. Best thing is to be aware. Don't go in the woods alone. I would not be going in the woods if I heard that one. I would probably skip the hunt that night. Sounds like a mad cat or a bear. Why don't you take the tape over to Rose Lake to see the rangers? Blah, 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 blah. Sounds like a mountain lion to me. Young, wet cougar. I don't like that.
That's wild.
The guy that took the video will apparently send it to the DNR. He says, nope, DNR has not called back yet.
Because it's Sasquatch.
It's Sasquatch.
Ugh.
Yeah. There's no other. It's a cat. It's
yes,
a cat.
It's either a bobcat or a cougar. It's one of the two. I would always lean more towards bobcat because they're more prevalent in the area.
Okay, here's a link to bobcat sounds or cougar sounds. Sounds like a velociraptor.
I think that's higher pitched than the bobcat.
Okay, but did you hear at one point, like a couple times in the video, you can almost hear kind of that like at the back end of whatever this thing is making?
No, I really couldn't pull that out.
If you just like barely listen, just on the back. Man, dude, that just really, no matter, I'm not even there, but no matter how many times I've listened to this, it just makes me so on edge.
Okay, so to preface this, the scary thing is this is roughly, 15, 20 miles from where we're at right now, where we're sitting? That video is probably taken within a 20-mile radius of where we're at.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is funny. A lady named Lindy says, "Whereabouts do you live? Bath? Frickin' scary. My dogs have a fenced-in backyard, but countless deer have made it their way in. I don't feel safe just because of the fence." It's like, yeah, your 6.5 foot chain link fence is going to stop a cougar or a bobcat for that.
So, rule of thumb is, guys, if you're within a 20-mile radius of Lansing, Michigan, just make sure you shine your flashlight up in your tree stand before climbing up.
Yeah.
That's eerie. That I do not like that one bit, because I love working outside after dark, just getting stuff done. And now, granted, the theory of they are way more skittish and scared of humans than we are of them, I think, stands. But there's still that weird looming eeriness of having, to me, a cougar is a bigger apex predator than a wolf, a lone wolf. I'd probably be more scared of a pack of wolves than I would a cougar.
So this is another thing that I've heard about, like the Langsburg area. Langsburg has a known population of bobcats, and for whatever reason in that area, they have been known to run in packs.
Bobcats?
That's the rumor in this area, is that the bobcats around here run in packs, and they'll hunt like that.
Is that even a thing?
I don't know. That's just what I've always heard up here. Now,
is that an old wives' tale? Has anybody confirmed that? Because usually felines are...
Yeah, but that's the whole premise of this conversation, is like nobody's confirmed that there's actually a cougar, but I got buddies like Ethan that have seen them eye to eye, and buddies that have them on trail cam, and like multiple friends actually that have them on trail cam. Now, the weird thing about that is, like, no, I have not personally seen those pictures with my eyes. But I've, like, and if I didn't find a track, I'd probably say that everybody was like, no, they're just making something up. But I found tracks.
Do you think this all started with one sneaking in, like working its way down through the state? Or was this something that somebody raised as a pet? It's like an exotic pet and it got loose.
Well, think about that episode that we had last year where somebody did bring a bunch of cats down into the Mason area. And they got out. And they live in a gravel pit down there.
That's true.
It's like, you know, like secondhand counts of friends that have, you know, walked back to their car, got in their car, turned the car on, and 20 yards away, mountain lion sitting there, just staring at them. It's like, ugh. Now imagine, oh my gosh, imagine walking down a path, and that noise sounds off behind you. Whoa!
When you're still 300 yards from your truck.
No, dude, I'd be like, just like just straight up like, be gone in the name of Jesus. Like I love being out in the woods. I cannot handle that crap.
Can you, and if you think about it too, during bow season where you can't have a gun with you, that's spooky.
I think about that. Every once in a while, I'll break the rules. I'll carry my pistol on me because I'm just like,
Yeah. I usually, when I'm walking out, I usually don't wait until like pitch black. I keep the chart of legal shooting light as soon as legal shooting light hits.
Yeah, if you can sneak out, I sneak out.
I literally I will start as soon as legal shooting light hits. I pack up.
Yep.
And I walk out so I can actually see where I'm walking. I don't ever use a flashlight walking out.
Yeah, I haven't used a flashlight yet.
Unless I get stuck and there's deer all around me and I don't want to blow them out.
Right. But that's just the kind of stuff like, oh man, just hearing that noise. I would probably hole up in a stand and just wait and tell somebody like in a scenario like that, I would be a boy again. I'd call my dad and I'd be like, come get me.
Where's my dad?
Like I just
you still haven't seen that Finding Nemo play meme?
No,
I'll show it to you.
No, dude. But like, I just say, Dad, grab a gun and a flashlight and get out here. Like, here's my location. I'm terrified.
I gotta find it. This is exactly the situation.
But nevertheless, like I've known that there's cats out in our area for years, and I'll walk out there every time I think about it.
This is you when you hear a noise like that.
Where's my dad? All alone. I'm too small to be here on my own.
It's not about size at that point. It's just about like who's smarter at killing me.
Yeah. Right.
That thing. Whatever made that noise can kill me.
I just really don't want to think about it. Just kind of put it out of my mind.
I was watching another video the other day of a guy that was walking out of the woods at night, and he's talking about something that he experienced on his hunt and like chirping at somebody. And like multiple times in the video, he's got his camera light on him, so his face is illuminated, but it's dark all behind him. Multiple times in the video, he stops and he just like pivots his head around. He's like, "What's that?" Anyways, then he keeps walking, and then like something snaps behind him. He's like, "What's that?" And he looks at the camera and he goes, "Walking out of the stand on a hunting season is the only time that I believe Sasquatch is real." And I've said it before here. I resonate with that so much. Like, every time I'm walking out, I'm like, Sasquatch could be anywhere. Like, it's a freaking Sam Squanch. I just can't handle it. Like, it's just... I think about it nonstop, man. Cougars and Sasquatches are on my mind when I'm walking out.
Speaking of interesting creatures, I did see that the Michigan State Troopers ended up pulling an alligator out of a pond nearby.
Again?
Yeah, like this week.
Where? How close?
I forget where it was at. It was small, teeny tiny little alligator.
Oh, really?
But like 4 foot, 3 foot.
Oh, that's kind of fun. I always thought it'd be fun to have a gator as a pet, and in the summertime, you could just let it go in your pond, and it would just
eat all the frogs.
Yeah, and like it gets up to like 4 foot. Okay, cool. And then in the wintertime, like fall starts to come around before it starts to freeze. You go catch it, you wrangle it, and you bring it into your basement where you got like an enclosure there. And you keep it through the winter. And then summertime rolls back around. You take the alligator out of your basement. You take it back down to the pond. You put it back in the pond, and then it just does its normal thing.
That's a heck of a party trick.
It's possible.
How about we start with like a palm tree?
Well, the palm tree's not going to eat your frogs.
No, I'm just saying from the perspective of bringing something out of its climate.
No, dude. Because that happened 2 years ago too, like up in Stanton. I think they pulled an alligator out of it was a like 6 foot alligator out of one of the, it was like a sanitary system or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Somebody tried to flush their alligator.
Well, no, it was like a 5 foot, 6 foot alligator.
Jeez.
And then like 2 weeks later, an emu got out and was running around. It was like mid-Michigan's a wild place. Everybody's bored. There's nothing to do up there. So they just
especially in the winter, they drink and have exotic pets.
Dude, speaking of that, mid-Michigan in the wintertime, or not even in the winter, it's just like there's so many deer running around up there. When I was working up in mid-Michigan for 2 years, there was somebody that would drive around and they would like find roadkill, and they would pose it in really funny like positions. Like there's one, they took a couch. They had like a old recliner chair, and they put it on the side of the road, put the deer curled up in the couch, like sitting there with they had a pink boa around its neck, a big party balloon, a case of Busch Light, and like maybe some sunglasses on or something like that. And then like that winter, there was a deer that got hit, and it died on the side of the road, frozen. So its legs were stretched out, and they took it and they jammed it upright in the snowbank. I'm pretty sure it was the same person doing this because there was like 4 or 5 accounts of this like happening in this area. They jammed the deer upright in the snowbank, put like those big green clown glasses on it, and then like beads around its neck or something like that. Somebody took a TikTok video.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, it was so funny. And I would drive by and see this kind of stuff all the time, just laughing my head off. Like,
I have seen people put like get well soon balloons.
mm-hmm. Whenever you see the deer that are like all bloated out on the side of the road, I've always wanted to stop and try to stand it upright. I've pulled over before, like walked up and like
I've
attempted, but the smell was just too much.
I'd honestly be scared of the pressure. Can you imagine getting it upright and then it tips over and it's like a mini explosion?
I've thought about it. I'm not going to incriminate
the
myself.
Smell and the pressure.
Oh my
just
gosh.
like it's like it's honestly it'd be like one of the whales.
Oh, dude, when the whales explode, it's great.
Crazy.
It's great. But yeah, I've wanted, like, there's been multiple times that I've pulled over to try to stand a deer up on the side of the road, or I've hit the brakes thinking about pulling over, and I didn't do it because I was going to like a wedding or something. But like, you know, one in every maybe 400 deer you pass on the side of the road, they're perfect to stand them right up. They're just bloated with their legs sticking right out. You could totally do it. And then you could just sit there and watch cars slow down all day long. Be hilarious.
There should be a roadkill challenge.
I've done some pretty fun things with roadkill,
but we can't get into them.
No, we could do a What You Got, Buddy, on like my roadkill adventures. And,
I think if you had like really good nose plugs, it would be
no, it'd get in your mouth. You'd totally know. You'd have to
bring back the mask.
Doesn't work. Caleb, what you got, buddy?
This is a fun one.
Is it about a Sasquatch?
No, it is not. All right. This is actually local, too. This happened like right down the road from us, and this is hilarious.
Alligator?
Nope. Lansing, Michigan. A lingerie store
I know the one.
In Old Town, Lansing.
I don't know the one.
Was left damaged and closed for a day after a whitetail buck crashed through the front door, running around causing chaos. According to the owner of Curvaceous Lingerie, on Saturday at about noon, a deer charged right across the street, breaking through the front glass door and began to skid around the store, breaking mirrors and wrecking mannequins. People in the store acted quickly, opened the door, and the deer eventually ran outside. Customer did call 911. Meanwhile, no one was hurt. The store was closed for the day.
I have a vision of this buck running out with like bras and panties all caught up in its hair, or not hair, freaking like in its antlers, just booking down the road with like.
Well, I mean, what do you expect with a shop called Curvaceous? Homie was just trying to.
He's chasing tail, man. He's looking for some
exactly.
nookie. He's like, that looks good.
Yeah, just different kinds of racks there. Can you imagine though? Like, and here's the thing though. This is a huge testament to what we talk about with the deer population.
Too many.
This is like not a suburban area. This is like urban. This is like right downtown.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a bridge that goes across a river, and this deer is like in the middle of this urban area. So it's crazy. Just plows right through the front door, runs like slides around 3 or 4 times.
Do they have it on video?
They do.
Oh, that's funny.
They have it on. They all have it all on video.
I do like watching those videos of deer going through like business windows, running around.
Can you imagine how freaky that would be to be in a small store like that? I mean, we've seen what you guys see what bucks are capable of doing.
Oh yeah,
like that.
It's a 200-pound animal.
That would be freaky to have happen.
200-pound animal with spikes on its head, running around. We actually had that happen in my middle school when I was growing up. We just built a brand new middle school, and a buck crashed through the window during class. And I think it died on impact because it like cut itself, and there's just blood everywhere.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it was not good for. Hopefully, it was science class, and they could have just dissected it right there. But I wasn't in that class.
You were just like backstraps.
I'm like, this is great. But Yeah, no, those videos are super entertaining to watch.
Do I use my APR tag or my unrestricted tag?
Some kid, dude, and then Perry, like, yeah, 4 kids would whip tags out of their pockets and like, we can use these.
That is funny.
Oh no, I had a really good thought on that. Oh no, did you see the video that got posted recently? It's a security camera out in front of a house, and a car pulls up in front of the house. It's like kind of set back in the woods.
That was also local.
Are we thinking of the same
I know
one?
exactly.
Where the guy's selling the pickup truck?
Yes, that was local.
Really?
Yes.
A guy's going to sell his pickup truck. A car pulls up to and it's the guy is coming to look at this truck. And this deer jumps probably 35 feet
Over
one car.
Over a Pontiac Vibe.
Smashes into the bed, like completely dents in the side of this, like I think it's an '05 GMC probably. Smashes in the side of it, lands in the bed, jumps up and jumps out. And this guy's like walking up the driveway to look at this truck. Pristine, mint condition.
Yeah.
Massive dent in the side of the truck. Runs off.
So here's the story.
How close was
I was actually like 3 touch points away from it. It was in Michigan. And
Okay.
somebody knew somebody who knew somebody that I talked to. So the guy was from New Jersey.
The guy selling the truck?
The guy buying the truck was from
Drove
New Jersey.
all the way from New Jersey?
He drove all the way to Michigan, and you guys have probably seen it. This video's gone viral. This guy is coming from New Jersey to purchase this truck. It was like a mint, like 2004 Silverado Crew Cab 2500, just beautiful. And you can see on the security cam footage as the guy is pulling into the driveway, this guy standing in the driveway with his dog, and his dog takes off after this deer. And then just out of frame, this buck flies. I mean, a Pontiac
Reindeer.
A Pontiac Vibe is still 5.5 feet tall.
Yep.
And this deer flies over top of a Pontiac Vibe that's parked in the driveway and just caves in the side of the bed of this pickup truck that this guy's coming to buy.
bet you that, I'm serious, I bet you that deer jumped 30 feet.
It was nuts. I was shook the first time I saw it. I've never seen a deer fly. Like, he didn't even...
Genuinely flew.
You didn't see him jump. He just came through the frame. He was literally...
the first time I watched it, I had to watch it like 2 or 3 times because I was like, what the heck? Where did that come from? It looked like it dropped out of the sky.
He was literally flying through the frame and just caved the side of this bed in, and then just dents the whole left side of the truck trying to get out of the bed. And it's like... Can you imagine the defeating feeling knowing you just drove 14 hours from New Jersey and you pull in, you're just like, oh, there it is. And then you just watch this deer go flying 35 feet right into the side of your new
Welcome to
pickup truck.
Michigan.
So here's my question. Did the guy who came from New Jersey get a discount on it? What would you do? What would you, if you were the seller of that truck, what would you do in that scenario? Because it's not your fault.
No.
I don't know what I would do. If I'm being honest.
I would probably just knock off the price of a bed, and or whatever. I'd be like, look, whatever the body work ends up costing to get done, like, I'll send you a discount, or just say, hey, it's going to cost this much. That's off the truck. Like, if you're trying to, I mean, if he's driving all the way from New Jersey, this guy's selling a truck that, like, he's been trying to sell this for a while, probably.
I doubt it. I think it's probably more along the lines of, like, it was that valuable because it was mint condition. The guy was willing to come that far to get it.
Right. And, well, okay, yeah. And like that class of people, it's just like, dude, you just drove all this way, have the truck, here's the price knocked off.
Yeah.
If I was that guy, I'd probably sell it like that.
I'd just take the video, upload it to that guy. Honestly, he freaking uploaded that video to YouTube, and he made 3 times what the amount of that truck was worth just on the video.
Right.
So pretty hilarious. We'll put the I'll link that video in the description of this for you guys to view, because it is a freaking hoot.
Also, if anybody has information, sightings, pictures, trail cam photos of cougars in mid-Michigan, East Lansing-ish,
please
send them our way. I want to know. I know they're here. I've seen them. I've seen tracks. I've heard firsthand testimony. I have friends that have pictures.
Any evidence, tracks, noises, videos, like anything.
Yeah, if the DNR is going to be weird about it, like, let's make them pay.
Yeah, if we're going to be...
Actually, no, I really don't want a mountain lion management plan in Michigan
because that just solidifies that they're here.
I just kind of like the fact, like, it's like, you know,
It's
there's mystique about it.
It's elusive.
Yeah, it's like there's this mystical animal that's real, but like, who knows if they're around? I don't know.
Right.
The allure of it just gets me excited, man. Because once they say, like, yeah, there's cougars are here, I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, cool, whatever. I knew that, idiots.
Yeah.
But like, up until then, I feel smarter. I'm like. Like, congratulations, you finally caught up and be on the same page. But now I kind of feel like I'm like, I know something you don't.
That is funny.
Makes me feel good about myself. Go find a big cat.
This was a quick one. Guys, thanks for tuning in today. We appreciate it. We talk about this quite often. We grow organically, so we don't pay for advertisers don't pay us to talk about products or services or anything like that. So this show really grows on you guys. So if you liked something, if you got a kick out of it, if you laughed, if you learned something, just share it with somebody. Shoot it over to them in a text or via social media. Share something with them. Make sure to subscribe. We drop episodes every Tuesday. Our Instagram is ataaso.outfitters, and our website is www.ataaso.outfitters.com. That's where our bio's at. Our podcast is on that website. If you're a weirdo and you don't listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, what else is there?
While you're over there listening to the podcast on our website.
On SoundCloud. Buy
a hat or a t-shirt or a hoodie that kind of keeps this bandwagon on the tracks. Live from the Pod Bunker, I'm Caleb. We've got Reed. Hunter's not here tonight.
We always got Travis and Lieutenant Dan.
We always got Travis and Lieutenant Dan, and now Caddyshack.
Oh,
guys,
Caddyshack.
Have an awesome night. We will catch you guys on the next episode. See you later.
We haven't named our duck yet.
That's true. We were also running cameras, and you were waving a sword around the whole time.
Yeah, we have a sword and a bunker. Do
you think we're going to get...
I'm not going to not play with it.
We're going to get demonetized?
Because I have a sword?
Yeah.
Let's wait to get monetized first.
You're brandishing weapons.
We have a bow hunting podcast.
It's valid. Bye, guys.